Oh my gosh, you're joking. Oh, it's a ladder. No, absolutely not. Oh, this is the Queen of Swords. This is absolutely amazing. Oh, no way. Hi lovelies, you join me today while I am shuffling my new decks, the Stranger Things deck, and I just can't wait to work with it. So I am going to pull my week ahead spread, but I've just cleared away my last week ahead spread, and I'm looking at all of these oracle cards in front of me, and although they're lovely to think about, I'm getting a bit fed up with just clearing away spreads, and I haven't really focused on what comes after the spread. Like, what have I done with the cards? How has it impacted my life? Like, the River card here has been out for a while. Brilliant, lovely to read and all that, but what have I actually done with it? What happens beyond the reading? What happens beyond the reading, especially if you've got a lot of decks and you're doing a lot of readings for yourself? Are we just pulling cards, leaving them on the desk, then clearing them away and pulling out the next set of cards? Are we doing anything with this? And I just want to question myself, you know, why? Because if we're not doing anything with this beyond the reading, then we're reading for reading's sake. So it just got me thinking, reading for reading's sake, or is there something beyond the reading? So I'm going to pull a week ahead spread. This is the first reading I've ever done with this deck, and that one flew straight out. We're going to see what this week, which is the first week of my summer holiday, entails and what happens beyond the reading. So for my first position, it's what is the overall energy lessons of the week. Three of Spokes. Collaboration. Oh my gosh. So I'm in an empty house at the minute, so you might think, well, you've got nobody to collaborate with, but I'm talking about collaborating with my reading. Okay. The second position is what lesson is there to learn from this week? The Four. Perhaps I might end up beginning again with the way I perceive tarot and my tarot practice. Okay, so the overriding energy of the week and the lesson to learn. And then I am going to pull 4 cards that kind of depict the journey through the week or different aspects of the week. It's like 4 things that might show up or to look for. So the first is the Nine of Spokes, so new things. Okay, so the Nine of Spokes, that's the Nine of Cups. We have a shiny new bike on there, something new. Again, that kind of fits with the idea of the Fool, something new showing up. So this might be an impactful week. I hope it is, because that'd be fun to share. The Queen of Swords, Truth. Okay. So the Queen of Swords has shown up. That's always an interesting energy to be playing with. Judgment. That idea of rebirth, beginning again with the Fool and with the Nine of Spokes as well, showing something shiny new. Okay, so there might be some changes afoot. Truth wrapped up in it all. I think anytime we stop and analyse what we're doing, we are uncovering truths about why and how we need to change. Right, the 4th card is got the 6 of Scoops there, so balancing things out, gifts. Okay, so those are things to look for through the week. I then take the underlying energy card. Okay, we've got the 10 of Wands there, so like It shows Joyce with the burden of trying to work out the alphabet to connect with Will in the upside down. So a burden as well, that's kind of an underlying energy that's, or like a shadow energy that's running through the week. Sometimes it can be a shadow energy that I need to look out for. Thinking about it, it's the first week of the summer holiday. I never ever have the first 2 weeks of the summer holiday with my kids. They go straight to their dad for the first 2 weeks. This is the first summer holiday in over a decade that I haven't cried my eyes out at this beginning of the summer holiday. You see posts on social media of families going off with their kids, like celebrating with their kids, and I'm in a completely empty house. And also the end of a school year is so full on for a single mom that does all the school based stuff. So I go from madness to complete silence, and it has always in the past really affected me badly. And in this card we've got a mom without her kid is somewhere else, and the burden of that. This is the shadow energy of this week. Bang on, that's the shadow energy of this week. Okay, for an oracle card to go with it. So now I've been working with this oracle, the Rooted Woman. So I've got the shape-shifting card out here. I was also wondering whether to have a angelarium, like these are kind of like demonic angels, whether that might be nice to work with like the kind of the theme of the Stranger Things tarot. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to pull one angelarium card and one Rooted Woman card to go with this reading for the week, almost like a shadow card and a general oracle reading. Okay, so this is the reading that I'm going to work with. When I put this reading away at the end of the week, I want to feel like the cards have been used beyond the reading. That's what I want. The Angelarium card that I pulled is the Angel of Silence. Doesn't that go with this card of like trying to find like a silent language and that burden of silence as a mom, that situation I'm in this particular week, which of course you would hope that a week ahead spread does tie into where you are, if it's going to be of any use at all. If you look at the write-up in the book, it says space fills with silence and the void gains new meaning. Out of the Rooted Woman oracle, I pulled one of the place cards, number 6, the meadow, flourishing and regenerating. Again, my immediate hit from that is we're talking about, you know, now using this void to regenerate, to find ways for me to flourish. And again, if we come to the book here, it says that we were made to flourish, we deserve to flourish. It is our birthright, our heritage, and the driving force of the heroine's journey that we're on. So flourishing, not sinking within the void. So many kind of interwoven messages I see here straight away, but I've seen it, I've noted it, I could journal that down, but what to do with it, that's what I'm going to explore now in the rest of the video. How do we make these cards really work for us beyond the reading? Okay, so this is the first thing that I've done since I pulled the reading. This is one of my latest handmade tarot journals, which is made out of an Amazon gift, an Amazon envelope. So you can see that there's all bits of scrap paper in there. It's an exciting way, I think, to make a handmade journal. So what I've done just on this one page, I've literally just put week ahead spread, Saturday the 20th of July, and I've just written brainstorm, and I've taken each of these cards in this spread and I've literally just brainstormed either activities that from my initial reaction, activities or journal prompts or things to think about. I've never done a brainstorm around a spread before, and I really enjoyed doing it. So for the general energy of the week, which was the Three of Spokes or the Three of Cups, so I put this little brainstorm bubble here. The things that I came up with was work collaboratively with the tarot. How can I celebrate my people? So my friends I've put. Other ways to work collaboratively I've put to journal, to vlog, to look at nature, so to take this reading into nature and bring nature into it, to use my bike, to get my bikes fixed. Billy in the Judgment card, I've put what significant changes are you embracing at the moment, and how can you aid this? How can you take control of your destiny, just like Billy did? That idea of rest also comes into play with this card, where it says that you need to use silence to still the tremors of your soul. We're asking to use stillness to get rid of fear. Normally it's the stillness and the silence that brings fear in for me. So this is flipping it on its head. And I've written down meditate, rest, to make sure my sleep routine is in place, and when it's quiet to brainstorm what gifts are actually there. So you can see these cards are beginning to work together within the brainstorm. And then the last one was this card from the Rooted Woman Oracle, which was meadow, flourishing and regenerating. So I've put visit meadows, visit gardens, look at wildflowers. If you are the meadow, what are the tapestry of roots that you want to put down to ground yourself in? What makes you flourish? How can you foster a community of wildflowers? So those are just some things to think about there. So that's my brainstorming page. Hopefully that gives me now some pathways to start exploring this whole idea of working with tarot beyond the reading. So I'm really excited to crack on with this week and just see where this leads me. So from that brainstorming I wrote my first journaling list, which was endings and new beginnings, directly linked to that Fool card and how I could help myself. A massive thing for me is to start moving more again, getting the dogs out walking. So to get over the anxiety of walking them at busy times, I had to start getting up really early. So the week saw me getting to bed early, getting a sleep routine in place, and getting up super early to walk the dogs in a very empty early morning woods, and we all loved it. I really felt like the tarot reading helped me to put those changes in place. And as I was sat one evening looking at the spread, thinking, oh wow, that really worked, I noticed the imagery on the Fool card. It links directly to what had been going on in the week, and that always amazes me. Walking into a dark wood to begin again. It was right there on the card. I find the stillness and silence of early morning before the rest of the world has woken up just so magical, and it reminded me of the Angel of Silence card I'd pulled that speaks of a silence sliding over your ears, enveloping your awareness completely as if you've closed your eyes, and to look for gifts within that silence. One of the gifts it specifically asks you to look for is a feather, and there it was. So already this week, just with the Angel card and the Fool card working together, I've seen changes beyond the reading, which is what I wanted to see. Now, thinking about this Three of Spokes or the Three of Cups card, something really strange came in from that. I was thinking about different ways I can collaborate with things or people, and this card spoke really clearly something I wasn't expecting about the moon. And I've said before, I keep forgetting that the moon is my friend in my spiritual practice. I don't think this moon card has been changed for ages. And the Three of Spokes just whispered, change the moon journal card. It's not this card anymore. It's not the waning gibbous. change it for the right one, which is what I did. And when I checked, I couldn't believe it. It was a full moon in Capricorn, and my moon is in Capricorn. That just seemed like magic synchronicity to give me the heads up to check the moon on the full moon in my moon sign. It was just like amazing. So moon work has come into play. I was out in the garden last night under the moon. I'm going to do a moon reading as well, so that's impacted my week as well. So this is the Moon Oracle. It's by Caroline Smith and John Astrop. 3 piles of different cards. So you've got this, I think this is the moon houses. These are the different types of moon linked to the elements. And then you've got 12 goddess energy cards as well. So then I go to the moon phases and I find the full moon in Earth. It's flower and its keyword is achievement. So I then pulled a full moon reading with this oracle, and I just love the fact that that tarot reading for the week has directed me to this. Got Lilith. Okay, so that's going to be my reading up until new moon now. Lilith, her direct message from the guidebook is to ignore now events or people that created an evil image of me, but to step into passionate action, to take back control. Lilith speaking with the Fool, the Queen and the rebirth of judgment. They were all saying the same words to me this week. Words that whisper that change is inevitable and what no longer serves must now end to make room for the new. So I began to exercise more movement. That's the new. I tidied my house and I fought back against the ever growling presence of my agoraphobia that I live with, and I planned some visits out. I decided to go and meet the Queen of Swords for my reading in a castle. So I went to the highest castle in the Cotswolds. That seemed like a good plan. Broadway Tower. A place that was once a folly and once a huge part of the war effort here. A place of lookout, a place of plane crashes, and also the place where a nuclear bunker still stands. The juxtaposition of a castle on a hillside next to a hidden underground bunker to escape the attacks of others just seemed to mirror my life so incredibly. The bunker was what I had become. I'd been stuck trying to escape, to feel safe for so long. The prisoner card in my moon reading had already talked to me about this. I'd booked a tour of the bunker, but Lilith stepped in as the guide chatted, filling me with more and more dread. And as we approached the ladder to climb down the 20-foot underground, I knew I just couldn't do it. This upside down video is me trying to explain to a very surprised guide that I just didn't want to. I didn't mention goddesses to him though. So instead I walked back to the castle tower to explore, and climbing its stairs with its surprises of pink ornate rooms full of sparkles. It felt like finding myself again after years of underground dwelling. Joy, art, quirkiness, fun, and a ridiculous amount of sparkly things for one place. It was all here, calling me back again, reminding me who I used to be before others started dropping bombs on my life. Till at last I could step out and view all that life now has to offer me. Speak your truth, the Queen of Dice sang over the wind, and I had to laugh because even the stags that were holding this very card back home on my desk made an appearance within the view. This was tarot connecting with me in real life. This felt like rebirth. And what of that meadow card? Well, this is where my week beyond the reading steps into magical overdrive. Are you ready for this? No, I don't think you are, because I wasn't ready for this either. For just down the road, on the same road as the tower, I found this place. And my heart and my soul and my eyes couldn't believe what I was looking at. As I came to the brow of the hill and saw the wildflowers stretch on and on, I must confess I shed a tear at the power of living with tarot. This blew my mind. I had literally stepped into my tarot reading for the week, and it just made me feel joyous. Joyous is the only word I've got to describe this. And as I walked around this beautiful place, I thought about my journey so far, halfway now through this week, of going beyond the reading. Had it worked? Absolutely yes. So I think I can probably share 6 things with you about going beyond the reading that has worked for me so far this week. Firstly, that brainstorming. Brainstorm a reading. For me, it gave me endless options of journal prompts, lists, ideas and paths to follow. Then secondly, keywords came into it this week for me, either on the card itself, like that prisoner card or the meadow card, or words in guidebooks like the word silence in my angel card. For me, that word silence led to new sleep routines, early morning walks and meditation. Number 3, I spotted magical synchronicities in the card imagery. Always keep your eyes open for that. And I mean by that, synchronicities in real life, like the dark woods of the Fool card becoming my early morning walk, or the fairy lights in the 10 of Strands becoming wildflowers in real life. And then the 4th thing I did, I sought out the archetypes of the cards I'd pulled in real life, like the Queen of Dice and her castle on the hill. Not only did that give me opportunities for fun and joy and days out, but also to see if nature or the spirit of place would speak to me. 5thly, I allowed whispers in, whispers to lead the way, like the 3 of Spokes pulling me back into my moon practice this week. And believe me, the meadow also gave me amazing messages too. You have to allow those whispers in and not just dismiss it all as just your imagination for that to be impactful. And lastly, but most importantly, I trusted that magic is always right here in front of us, if only we can just open our eyes and see it. What a week living tarot beyond the reading. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.